Today I'm going to be talking about a priest, a guitarist, a composer of the mid to late 17th century. But I'm going to start with a quote from Andres Segovia, the great 20th century guitarist who moved the classical guitar out of the streets and out of the gypsy houses into the classical concert halls. He said this about the guitar: "The guitar and the dog of God's creatures are the only two who have taken up many forms in order to stay with man." The guitar of today is so different from the guitar of the Baroque period. The guitar of today has wide hips and deep bouts compared to the narrow Baroque guitar. Our guitar also has 6 strings, single strings, and the Baroque guitar has 5. But those 5 strings are coursed, which means that they have 2 strings per string. So, some of them were octaves, some of them were unison, but it gave a richer sound. And that is the sound that the man I'm going to speak about today would remember, Gaspar Sanz. To begin with, there's not a lot that I can tell you about Gaspar Sanz, simply because he was not a big opera composer, he wasn't a keyboardist, he was a priest, and he was a guitarist. I can tell you this, that he was baptized in his hometown church of Aragon in 1640. We don't know when he was born, just that he was baptized in that spring. He was baptized, his christening name was Francisco Bartolomeo Sanz y, which he later changed in his adolescent years to Gaspar, hence Gaspar Sanz. I can tell you this, that he was also from a rich family. The reason I can tell you this is because he went to the university. Not a lot of people during this time period sent their children to the university. Not only to university, but to the oldest university in Spain, the University of Salamanca. Gaspar Sanz went there, and he matriculated and got a degree, a bachelor's degree in theology. Now, why would anybody who was a musician get a degree in theology? Well, if you think about the time period, the schools back then, the big school on campus was theology and philosophy. And if you wanted to get a degree, why not gravitate toward those big schools? Unlike today, the big schools on campus are science and technology. So he graduated with that degree, and he was ordained a priest, and then he went traveling. He traveled to Rome and to Naples in Italy, where he studied with the choir master of the Vatican, and he studied with the organist in Naples, and he also learned guitar. And after he had studied in Italy, he returned to his home of Spain, where he became a teacher. And he was a teacher at his university, his alma mater, and he also taught Don Juan, the illegitimate son of the King of Spain and an actress. And it was during that time when he was instructor to Don Juan that he wrote 3 instructional books. And those books are his legacy of today. The piece that I chose to look at, Canarios, is from the first book. And if you look at the title, if you translate it, one might think that the song is about canaries. But it's not. It's about a dance, a salacious dance, maybe even a little erotic for the time period, from the streets. It is written in 6/8 time, but it's not written in standard guitar notation. It is written in guitar tab, which all guitarists used during this day. It is also written to be performed and improvised. The great guitarists of the time would improvise for 30, 40 minutes on the song. Gaspar Sanz is a priest, a guitarist, and a composer. And he will be remembered as a teacher, a composer, and a child of God.